Mario Wonder is shaping up to be an insanely cool game. But watching the Wonder Direct and later released gameplay footage, I was barely thinking of the game itself. No, I was thinking of Super Mario Maker. Yeah, remember that silly little game where you make Mario levels? While it sold very well on Switch, it had considerably less impact than the original. And that always disappointed me, because I absolutely adored both games. But admittedly, even with the limited tile palette, I feel like I had far more fun creating levels on the Wii U. Maybe it was the gamepad, or just because I was younger and I had no prior obligations. But with Mario Maker 2, I only ever made one level to completion. However, playing other people's levels was a blast. I'm a massive fan of the speedrunning genre of levels, and if I'm ever bored, I have no problem popping in Mario Maker to spend 20 minutes on a single level. It's honestly a blast. But why was I thinking about Mario Maker while watching the Wonder Direct? Because Super Mario Bros. Wonder is desperately begging for a Mario Maker theme. This game has so much personality and unique tiles and enemies, and it would be a crime if it never gets a theme in a future Mario Maker. For years, I've tried making games. I once made an Angry Bird clone with sticky hands. Later, I tried making a beat-em-up game. Then I tried my hand at a Souls-like. All of those went about as well as you'd think. At last, I tried my hand at making a Cat in a Ball. Cat in a Ball was intended to be the product of Stray, Super Monkey Ball, and maybe even that old computer marble game, all blended together in a Mayan Cat in a Ball adventure. I worked months on this idea, and even now, I think about it all the time. I even made it my mascot character. But as much as I worked and tried to make it real, I never had the right resources or experience to make it. I even reached out to find someone who could help me, but again, all the same. Now, what if you had the knowledge and experience to create your own video games, and turn it into an actual career with opportunities for growth? Well, if that sounds exciting, then let me tell you about Southern New Hampshire University, who is sponsoring this video. SNHU is one of the largest accredited non-profit online degree offerings in the country. I'm here to tell you about their game development program. With their program, you'll learn how to create inventive gameplay experiences with game AI, physics, 2D and 3D graphics, and user interface design. You'll get to learn the necessary computer programming languages like C++, C#, and Java. Furthermore, you'll learn how to 3D model and texture with art software. And one of the best things is that you'll learn how to research, contribute, and evolve advances and trends within the field of game programming, bringing the opportunity for better games to exist for everyone. SNHU courses are taught by faculty with real-world experience, and SNHU is completely affordable, with their online tuition rates being some of the lowest in the country. Go to snhu.edu/arctic, also linked in my description, to see in real time what the average annual salary for a programmer is, and request free information about the program. When you request information, a real person will hop on a call and discuss how the program can benefit you personally. Again, to support your future and this YouTube channel, go to snhu.edu/arctic. It only takes one click to find your calling. First off, imagine the tile sets specifically. Right here, we've got platforms that disappear after a number of jumps on them. Now, imagine them in Mario Maker. Someone could perhaps make a getting over it type of level, where you have to maneuver the platforms just right or else you drop down to the very beginning of the level. Now, how about these platforms that appear when you hit a block? I could imagine someone making a level that constructs itself with the use of these blocks, plus a few Koopas. Then, at last, how about that hippo bounce pad thing? It's pretty much the same as a spring, but man, it has so much style. And you know what? That's what this is really about. Like I said in the beginning, I hardly touched level making in Mario Maker 2. Was it because I got older and lamer? Partially. But also, it's because it lacks style. This could be nostalgia talking, but if you look at Mario Maker 1, there's so much style and personality. Simple things like the tile name singing to the background music when you place it, or the rocket ship blasting off with the muted 3, 2, 1. All of these return in Mario Maker 2 in its own way, but everything feels so much more refined. That doesn't sound like a bad thing, but in a way, it is. Mario Maker 2 is akin to a cat excavator, while Mario Maker 1 is more like a Tonka excavator. Both can be practical for picking up dirt, but if you want as much power as possible, you gotta go with Mario Maker 2. But ultimately, Tonka excavators are gonna be a lot more fun. Alright, my construction friends might disagree with me on that analogy, but the meaning should still come through. Everything feels a lot more sterilized and streamlined for Mario Maker 2, and it's often very necessary with the lack of the gamepad, but it also kills a lot of the wonder. So, how about Super Mario Maker Wonder? Nintendo is more than likely never going back to the stylus dual screen type of console. I hope. And that means Mario Maker can never fully return to how it was on the Wii U. But maybe we can compensate a little for that and introduce these wonderful elements. Items like the drill, bubbles, and elephant are so incredibly unique I can't imagine them anywhere else, besides Mario Galaxy. And even though I feel items are some of the least necessary Mario things in Mario Maker, which is something I can talk about another time if people care enough, unique items like these could change how we look at the entire game. After all, look at lengthy Mario and 8-bit Mario. Man, Mario Maker 1 really was the best. Now, one of the last things I want to talk about is Wonder Events. Now, we don't know every Wonder Event yet, and that's perfectly fine. But I kinda wanna think of them as something similar to clear goals in Mario Maker 2. They're not the exact same, really at all, but if we combine clear goals and a couple dozen wonder events, it could bring a lot of bedazzlement to every Mario Maker level. And perhaps have individual levels exclusively take place during a wonder event. I would love to play and maybe even make my own levels if I had these available to me. But throughout this, you might be thinking something, and I've been thinking the exact same thing. This is a lot of stuff for one game. Wonder events, Elephant Mario, weird platforms, and all of this on top of the original themes like Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, New Super Mario Bros., even on top of Super Mario 3D World? Well, actually no. Get rid of all of that. This right here is Super Mario Maker Wonder. But what about the Angry Son? He's my favorite and he helped me raise my firstborn son. Well, you can see him on the weekends when you play Super Mario Maker 2. The Switch 2 is more likely than not including backwards compatibility, so you can play Mario Maker 2 whenever, and we won't have to corrupt Super Mario Maker Wonder. Now, you might be saying, if you can buy Super Mario Bros. Wonder and Mario Maker Wonder on the same console, why wouldn't you just buy Super Mario Maker Wonder, since they're basically the same game? Well, for nearly a decade, we were buying the same New Super Mario Bros. Game over and over. So, I think it'll be okay here. Thanks for watching. Thanks again to our sponsor, Southern New Hampshire University. Remember to clean underneath your fingernails, and as always, keep cool.